over. This started back
SEC,
in the early.
We were waiting for this for a very, very long time. We were waiting this for possibly 4 years, and this marks a major milestone, and I feel like a lot of markets will pump because of this.
2020s, but now it's coming to an end, and XRP is absolutely on fire. If you will hold even one of them,
like, this is now the not just retail coming in, it's literally all of the market. It's also institutions. But lawsuits against Ripple Labs is officially over after the two parties informed the Second Circuit Court of Appeals that they were voluntarily dismissing their respective appeals. Again, a lot of money is stopped here. Will each bear their own cost, the filing said on Thursday. The joint stipulation ends the legal battle between the SEC and Ripple. And again, expected cost is Ripple's $500 million. From what I heard, allegedly, it's $500 million that this lawsuit cost. I'm not sure if just Ripple alone or both parties, but one thing is lawsuits are very expensive, and now Ripple can finally focus on the core product.
And they got into a legal battle, and then there's a third party named Judge Torres. Put all of these together, and XRP has been very volatile in your portfolio for this very reason. And I want to say, family, we got to break it all the way down. The first piece of this is they both, the SEC and Ripple, have let go of their appeals. They said that they're going to pay the fees, handle it on their end, and they're not going to battle each other even anymore. So that means XRP, when they're selling them to institutions, then they're going to be looked at like a security potentially, aka this got to go through
this
the proper
really
channels.
Destroyed
they can't just
XRP.
do it the way that they did it.
This destroyed XRP and got it off the exchanges. This was like the changing moment
in the past. However, when they sell it to you, it's not a security. You're thinking to yourself, what is a security? When you go and buy a stock, you can't go buy a stock from your cousin, from your aunt. You can't go buy a stock from the store. You got to go through the New York Stock Exchange, the NASDAQ. You got to go through specific channels.
It was 10 times
and
harder.
XRP,
guys, imagine XRP was 10 times harder to get because of this lawsuit.
When they're selling it to you, they can sell it to you on Coinbase. They can sell it to you on various apps. But when they're giving it to institutions, they have to go through the proper channels. Family, I'm telling you, this is a huge W for XRP.
Yeah,
and we're
hitting
new levels. And I'm going to give you some levels in this video like I always do because we've been knocking it out the park. And I want to give a shout out to this workshop that I'm doing on Saturday. And I cannot win this breakout range. And we actually blew past it.
Yeah, Canon Gray said it pretty well. Like right now, it is the big thing in crypto is people are waiting for a new hype, a new wave, and this is gonna push, from the barriers. We saw like 2.76 cents. I called you guys not to panic. We didn't panic, and we literally went into the hype zone back again. It's exactly as I predicted, guys. So thank you so much for smashing that like button. It really helps me out.
You have to do is hold on to it for at least 3 days. I'm talking about Friday. I'm talking about Saturday. I'm talking about Sunday. And then we could kind of clear that level and be in the upper range. What is that range? Take a screenshot of this. The range is a little bit tighter from the last time we talked about it. This is about
355. Now, 355 would definitely be very nice. I feel like it could go higher, but in September. That's my personal opinion, not financial advice, but September is where I am really, really excited.
305 to about 335. We want to even break above that 335 so we can end up in the range above that, which is the 355 to 335. So as long as we hold it on to these levels, we are still in an uptrend, and we are looking for Bitcoin to even run up too. Bitcoin is going to be something that if we see it breaking back into the 120s, then this is going to be very powerful for things like XRP, especially in light of this news about what's going on with the case being dropped. We love to see that. I want to give you some of the details on it that a lot of people ain't speaking on just yet. And the first one is it was a joint agreement from the SEC and Ripple.
I feel like, the SEC also changed a bit after the election. So that is another factor why this was approved. So yeah, literally the SEC lawsuit is over because it cost taxpayers a lot of money and it cost Ripple a lot of money. And it didn't go anywhere. It was ongoing for 4 years. 4 years. Like, there were discoveries, there was this and that. And the judge literally said, Ripple wins, And after that was over, I feel like they didn't want to like prolong this any longer.
It wasn't just they weren't on the same team with this. They both said, yo, we just gonna pay the fees. The next one is that each of them, they really do have to pay the cost of all of the fees and all of the penalties. They got to pay it. And then the last one was that Judge Torres, she said this in July, that the ruling was against basically the institutions, which this is going to hinder XRP a little bit because they got to go through certain channels to get it to the institutions. If you didn't know, XRP is something that retail investors like, but it's something that institutions actually want to use so they can send money across.
The issue is literally 2 years ago or 1 year ago. So 1 year ago, you couldn't get institutions to buy the thing they wanted to use. You couldn't get it to buy it. That's why the price was so cheap. Because why would you get something that you cannot buy? And why would you partner with it if you can't even own and pay for the gas fees unless someone else buys it for you? Because of the lawsuit. So yeah, that being finished, the sky's the limit now.
Borders for extremely cheap, which is going to be a huge thing going forward in the future. So I say all of that to say, family, let's really get to this money. I love y'all, appreciate y'all, and I had to tap in to show you the real. I see y'all in that workshop on Saturday. Make sure you tap in. I do not want to see you not there, family. I love y'all. See you in the next one, and take care. XRP family, let's get it.
What if 2 hours of focused learning could today, August?
In today's world about investing, so yeah, it seems like pretty clear that XRP is becoming the next big thing. Again, pushing for $4 is more realistic now than ever before. There is another thing, urgent XRP announcement incoming.